Hi all, today we are going to see how to verify the Maxwell's mesh current method using both Tinkercad as well as Circuit Safari software. So for that I have taken the similar circuit which is taken for the last experiment, that is KCL KVL. I am taking that 9 volts battery is connected through 10 ohms through a Wheatstone bridge circuit which is having 10 ohms and in the center 100 ohms. 10 ohms in one branch and 1 ohms in another branch. I have just kept the node numbers A, B, C, D and E and I have taken a reference point as the ground. So in the mesh current method, what we have to take? We have to apply for each mesh. So we have to select the number of meshes in such a way each and every element of our circuit is covered, and we have to take the different meshes. So for that, I am taking this mesh as one mesh. So let us take for example this one, because we have to assign the mesh currents accordingly. That means first mesh I am taking from A to B, B to C, C to E and back to the battery. And second mesh I am taking this one because mesh is the smallest possible loop. So this current I am taking as I2. Similarly in the third mesh I am taking the current as I3. So now if you want to find the current through any particular element, will be the algebraic sum of the currents or different these mesh currents that are passing through this one. Like for example, through the 10 ohms, I1 is passing downwards, I2 will be passing upwards. Accordingly, you can take it. Through 10 ohms, only I2 is passing. Through this 100 ohms, what will be passing? I2 minus I3. So let us take the reference for example. This will be in this direction what is passing? This is I3 minus I2 is passing here. So similarly in this circuit, if you are writing, it will be I2. Similarly here, what is passing? I1 is passing downwards, I2 is passing upwards. This will be I1 minus I2 here. So through this I1 is passing. Similarly, this one I have already found. So through this one if you are finding, I1 is passing downward, I3 is passing upwards. So this will be I1 minus I3. So similarly the current passing through this one will be equal to, because only I3 is passing through this one. This is I3. So let us try to find the currents I1, I2 and I3, and same thing we will verify using those softwares also. So for that, first I am applying in the first mesh. When I am applying, I am going from minus terminal to plus terminal. So I have to take it as plus 9. And now through the 10 ohms when I1 is passing, we know voltage drop will be plus minus here. So when you are going from plus to minus, there is a voltage drop. I have to take as minus 10 times of I1. Similar way you have to proceed for the other resistors also. So now I am going through 10 ohms. So minus 10 times of I1 minus I2, and through the lower 10 ohms minus 10 times of I1 minus I3, because I am going in the current direction. So this will be equal to 0, or this I can simplify as 30 times of I1 minus 10 times of I2 minus 10 times of I3. This will be equal to 9. So this I am taking as equation number 1. Similarly, when I am applying to the second loop or second mesh, so I am starting. So this will be equal to minus 10 times of, I am starting from here because we will applying the current like this. So this will be equal to minus 10 times of I2 minus I3, or simply I can write as 10 times of I3 minus I2. Then through this I am going from opposite to the current direction. So this will be equal to 10 times of I1 minus I2. I am following as per the reference direction what I have taken. So now through 10 ohms to 10 ohms I2, we are going in same direction. This will be equal to 10 times of I2 is equal to 0. 10 times of I2 is equal to 0. So now if you are simplifying this one, so you will get it as 10 times of I1 minus, so I think here this is I3 minus I2. I3 minus I2, this is 100, right? So this will be 100. So please change it. So 10 times of I1 minus 120 times of I2 plus 100 times of I3. This will be equal to 0. So this I am taking as equation number 2. Similarly in the third mesh, if you are applying through this 1 ohm, I am going in the current direction. So minus 1 times of I3, because I am going in this direction only. Now I am going against the current direction. So this will become plus I1 minus I3. So this will be multiplied by 10 ohms. Similarly through 100 ohms, I am going in the current direction. So this will be minus 100 times of I3 minus I2 is equal to 0. Okay, or this I can simplify as 10 times of I1 plus 100 times of I2 minus 111 times of I3 is equal to 0. So these are the three equations I am getting. So now solving these three equations, so I am directly writing the answer. You can solve it and cross verify. Solving equation number 1, 2 and 3. So we will get the value of the currents. So I1 will come as 0.5288 amperes and the value of I2 will come as 0.3361 amperes. Similarly, the value of I3 will come as 0.3504 amperes. Let us try to note down these currents in the original circuit. So same thing we are going to verify. So for that I am pasting the original circuit here. So I1 is passing through the 10 ohms. That means through the 10 ohms we can tell this current will be equal to 528.8 milliamperes. Similarly, you can go to the above circuit. I2 is passing through 10 ohms. So through this second 10 ohms, this current we are going to verify. This value will be 336.1 milliamperes. Similarly, I3. So I3 is passing through the 1 ohm resistance. So that we will verify. So this current will be 0.3504 ampere. If you want to find the current through any other element, how to calculate? So this is there. Like for example, this 10 ohm resistor will be I1 minus I2. You got I1, I2, from that you can calculate. Similarly, through this current will be I1 minus I3. So similarly, through this it will be I3 minus I2. Just apply, accordingly you will get it. While applying, if the sign is coming negative, that means actual current direction is opposite to what we have assumed. So in that way we have to calculate. Let us try to verify this one using Tinkercad. So after that we will verify using the Circuit Safari. So first I am starting with the first one, Tinkercad. So for Tinkercad I have already explained how to go. First you have to go to the website, log in, then go to the Circuits tab in the left side, then create new circuit. So once you go to the create new circuit, let us see the remaining steps, how it to proceed. So for the first thing is, first you have to go to the components here, you have to select all. So once after that you need one breadboard. So you have to select a breadboard. So I am selecting the breadboard. So this breadboard is placed here. Once the breadboard is placed, I am just rotating it so that it will be easier for me to make the connections. So this is done. So after that we need some source. So for that I need one voltage source. So I am just typing here. So voltage. So in the voltage you can take anything. For example, I am taking the voltage source. So this voltage source value, I need the voltage as 9 volts. So I am selecting it as 9 volts. So once done, you can see when you keep the cursor here, it is showing negative. So I am taking this as the negative bus bar. Similarly, this I am taking as the positive bus bar. Getting it? Accordingly, I have adjusted the position of this one. So voltage source is connected now. So now I have to make the connections for different. So for that, what I am doing, because we need to measure 3 currents, I am taking 3 multimeters. So these multimeters I am taking in current mode. So similarly, I am taking another multimeter, because 3 different locations we have to measure. I am keeping here. This also in current mode. Similarly, I am taking another multimeter. This also it will be in current mode. Okay. Once this is done, so I am proceeding further. So we need the resistors. So for this, just press the back button. So resistor is required. So this resistor, so first resistor I am connecting here. So this resistance value I want in ohms. So this will be 10 ohms. So I want to measure the current passing through this 10 ohms. So this 10 ohms positive terminal is connected here, ammeter. Through the ammeter I have connected to some other point. Okay. So from this point I am going to connect different resistors. So first resistor, one 10 ohm resistor is required. So that one I am keeping here for the bridge circuit. So this resistance value is 10 ohms. So I have made this as ohms. There is one more 10 ohm resistor required. So 10 ohm resistor I am connecting here. So this value is in ohms, 10 ohms. Because for calculating the I2 is nothing but the current passing through this 10 ohms only. So this 10 ohms resistor is connected to this one through an ammeter. So the ammeter positive I have connected here, ammeter negative terminal I have connected to this resistor. So you can see from here through this ammeter it is coming to this junction, and from this resistor it is connected through this resistor to second one. So this measure the current passing through this 10 ohms resistance. So after this, one resistance is required in the center. So I am placing somewhere. So now I have to rotate it. And what is the value? The value of this resistance is 100 ohms. So this 100 ohms resistance I am just keeping somewhere here. This is connected between these two. Okay, so now they are connected. So after that, one more resistor required. So that resistor I am connecting here. So this resistance value is 10 ohms. This will be 10. This is in ohms. So let me cross check the resistance of this one, 100 ohms. Resistor of others also 10 ohms, 10 ohms and this one also 10 ohms. Okay, now one more resistance is required. That value will be equal to 1 ohm. So this one I have placed. This will be in 1 ohm. So I3 is nothing but the current passing through this 1 ohm. So this one I am connecting. So from this element I am connecting to positive, and from the negative I am connecting to some point. I am connecting to this resistor. So now this common point, so any point from here I have to connect to the negative bus bar. So negative bus bar is closed now. Okay, so now I am adjusting the position in such a way. You can see this 1 ohm resistor is connected through this ammeter. It is connected to the junction. This junction is connected to the negative terminal. So the circuit is closed now. How to use the breadboard, how the connections are made internally, those are already discussed in the previous lectures. You can please refer to them in basic electrical engineering playlist if you have the doubt. So I am directly proceeding because I am assuming that you already have the idea. So you can see that circuit simulation, something is missing. So what is missing? So we have forget to make one connection. What is that connection? We have not connected this positive terminal to this one. So that we have to make the connection. Getting it? So now the circuit is closed. So now I start simulation. So now you can see whether we got the same answer or not. We got the value I1 as 529 milliampere theoretically. So we got theoretically 528.8. We got 529. Similarly, the value of I2 theoretically we got as 336.1. Here we got 336. And value of I3 theoretically we got as 350.4. Here we got 350. So in this way we have verified the circuit safari. So sorry, we have verified using Tinkercad. So let us now try to verify using the circuit safari. So again for this, as usual, one battery will be required. So if you double click on the battery, you can select the range of the current. We know the current is limited to 1 ampere only. It is not more than that. So then you have to select what is the value of the voltage. You can see here DC. That voltage is, we are taking in our example as a 9 volts. So I have changed it to 9 volts. Once the battery is set, then the second one will be one resistor is there. That resistance value will be equal to 10 ohms. So I am changing it to 10. So after this we need one ammeter. So ammeter is used for measuring the current I1. So I am keeping it. I1 is nothing but the current that is passing through this 10 ohms. So I am just double clicking on this one. Here you have to change this instantaneous value to average value. Current is less than 1 ampere. So no problem. So now coming to the bridge circuit. In the bridge circuit there are two 10 ohms resistance. So I am just rotating it. So this one I am just keeping it here. So the value of this resistance is 10. So I have changed it to 10. So there is one more 10 ohms resistance. So similar way I am selecting another resistance. I am just rotating using the third button here. Again double click. Change this to 10. So once you change this to 10, so I am just clicking it. I can adjust where I want to keep. So I am just keeping it here. Okay. So now I need some ammeter to measure the current I2, because we know the current I2 passes through this R3. The value of this I2 passes through this 10 ohms resistance, that is R3. So I am keeping one ammeter here to measure the current. So here I placed an ammeter. So again this ammeter I have rotated in such a way, plus is pointing on the top. So now I have changed this instantaneous value to DC average value. Okay, so this one is done. So after that we have to connect the shunt elements. So shunt element, one resistor is there. That resistance value is 100 ohms. So this I am keeping here. The value of this resistance is 100 ohms. So I have made it as 100. Done. So two more resistors are there, one 10 ohms resistance and one 1 ohm resistance. So now selecting the 10 ohms resistance. So 10 ohms, for that I have just rotated it. I have made it as 10 ohms resistance. Okay, so now one more 1 ohm resistance is required. So for that again I am selecting the resistance. So I have rotated it. So the value of this resistance will be 1 ohm. Okay, so now the current passing through this 1 ohm resistance will be nothing but the current I3 in our example. You can see it. I3 is passing through only 1 ohm. Because remaining places more than one current are passing, whether you take the 100 ohms resistance or you are taking 10 ohms resistance in the lower branch. So for that part I am just connecting one ammeter. So I am taking one ammeter from here. Again place the ammeter, again rotate it as per our convenience.
then placed it here. So now I have adjusted the position such that it will look good. Done. So now one reference point is also required. So that reference point I am keeping here. So now I am making the connection. So first thing is the 9 volts battery is connected to 10 ohms. Secondary of 10 ohms is connected to ammeter. So ammeter is connected to this bridge circuit. So then this 10 ohms is connected in series with the ammeter. This is connected in series with this ammeter. These are connected together. This is connected here. Again this one will be connected here. This ammeter is connected in series with 1 ohms, then to 10 ohms. This is connected to ground, and secondary of your battery will be connected to ground. Okay, so now you can see all the circuit is complete. So now when you press the run button in the bottom third button, it will start changing. So sometimes if your connection is not made properly, then you will see that these dots will not move, but here you can see these dots are moving. That means the current is passing through every element. That means we have made all the connections properly. So now you can see the currents values are going on changing. Once they are stabilized, so then we will verify whether the same value of currents are passing or not in this case. Theoretical and practical values are same or not. You can see the current stopped changing. So I am just pressing the pause button, third button. Then I am pressing the rewind button. So now you can note down the value of the currents. You can see the value of the current I1 is 528.8 milliampere. Same thing we got theoretically. The value of I2 is 336.1 milliampere. We got the same. And the value of I3 we got as 350.4 milliampere practically. Same thing we got theoretically also. So from this we can conclude that the Maxwell's mesh current method is verified using Circuit Safari software. I think that all the methods, that means implementing using Circuit Safari as well as Tinkercad, is clear to you. If you still have any queries, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. I will answer to your queries from there. Thank you. Thank you very much.